What's up, everybody? This is the Rabid Hedgehog, and as you can tell, I'm not going to hide this one. I'm not going to spin around. It's in the title. This is going to be my ride and review of the Yamaha Bolt. Oh, the Bolt. I've been told many times that I should ride the Bolt and do a review of the Bolt, and I have responded many times that I have indeed rode the Bolt. The Bolt has been around for 6-7 years at this point, and it definitely has garnered a lot of attention as a beginner motorcycle or as a bike to get back into cruising, as a sportster killer. All these things about the Bolt, and I just never have seen it. They always say, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it at all. And if I was to do this review, the only good thing I'd be able to say is this here is the Yamaha Bolt built by Yamaha.
What's up, everybody?
All right. Stop the outro. It's bad, but maybe not that bad, to be honest. The Bolt, to me, has never really been that great. And the thing about it is Japanese manufacturers have come and gone with cruisers, and Yamaha's one of the few that's building just one cruiser now, and it's simply the Bolt. I know you can call the Eluder and the Venture, kind of a cruiser type too, but those are more those big giant baggers and stuff, and it's not really the down home and dirty cruiser. And to be honest, I do not understand why this was the choice of the bike to continue to build out of Yamaha. Maybe it's the entry-level price of it. Maybe it's something. I don't know. Like I said, I have never been kind to the Bolt. I have never seen the vision of the Bolt and what it's all about. Because to me, you have Yamaha, which is a company that has by far built some of the finest motorcycles ever built, from the R1s to the MT series, even back to the XS series. You can go back, and Yamaha has a fine pedigree of motorcycling. A few hits and misses here and there, but there's usually a fine motorcycle out there that Yamaha's produced, the long-lived VMAX, stuff of that nature. They make fantastic motorcycles, and then there's this thing below me. It's like having a thoroughbred horse jump the fence for the neighbor's mare. That's worthless. And this is exactly what this is. This is exactly Yamaha trying to get in bed with Harley Davidson and make a pedigree thoroughbred out of it, and you get this terrible hybrid of a child out of it. This thing is garbage. I know there's good parts about it. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's a place and purpose for it, but overall the fit and finish is horrible. The seat is horrible. The suspension is horrible. The thought into this was horrible. Let me grab my little camera on the ground here. Let's go over this. Looking around the bike, it's just terrible. The down tubes. Why the heck could you just not design this better? I mean, Harley's got this right. Most everybody's got this right where the down tube can fit perfectly. It's like they're thinking about putting a radiator there. They're thinking about doing something else. Instead, they just cross the exhaust pipe there, and it gives this terrible appearance. It's not clean. It's just, it looks like somebody built the frame in their garage and then threw an engine in the middle of it to make it work. It's not balanced. Everything is crammed in the back, which for a rider, that is terrible. You don't want everything crammed in the back, because here's your cylinder heads and here's your seat. And guess where heat goes on a air-cooled motorcycle? There's your exhaust. There's everything right there, right into your groin. You're having a barbecue while you're riding. It is not a well-designed or thought-out deal. Everything, to me, just looks chintzy, the way it's held together. And I don't know why. It never has looked good to me. And maybe to you folks it does look good, but as I said, I like being honest. It's like the engineers from Yamaha. They went to the piano side and said, can you build a motorcycle for us? And this is what they came up with, because there's so many afterthoughts that a motorcycle engineer should never have overlooked. I mean, the seat itself, this thing here, I mean, all American motorcycles and most of your Japanese cruisers and metrics and others, the seat comes and joins the tank. And that way it helps block some of this. And it also keeps you from having some other issues, because this seat is not designed for anybody who was born male. All this is right here is causing me to go sterile, and maybe that was the point. Getting punched in there and having a 3-octave higher voice by the end of the ride. This strange cylinder offsetting here. It looks weird from above. This huge air breather. So when you sit on it, notice how my leg actually wraps kind of around that cylinder. Maybe I'll go right over here. That is incredibly warm. And the fact that we're sitting here going, oh my gosh, guys, I mean, the engineers are sitting there going, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, what do we do? And they add this stupid thing in here that doesn't address other concerns of heat. And then this. What the? How did this get out the door? I mean, this for this time and frame, this for the 21st century is unacceptable as well. I mean, even the Sportster, which is near the same price point, has hangers instead of these stupid, terrible zip ties. I mean, even the Bolt has this massive, looks like a zip tie holding everything together down here. I mean, it just looks tacky. I mean, it is a massive zip tie, let's face it. Everything about this screams, I wasn't designed by the A-Team. This was literally an afterthought to them. And this is why I've never been nice to the Bolt, or never really rode the Bolt or talked about the Bolt, except in passing, because I have rode this bike. I did a video of it probably back in 2015, 5 years ago now. And I tried to be nice, and 20 minutes in, I just started rambling hate. Just so much hate like I'm doing right now. And I was just like, you know, this is not the way to do this. And everybody's, well, you always post bikes that you like. Well, today I'm going to do one I don't, so that way you know what I can't stand. So let's talk about the functionality of it. I mean, we might as well go ahead and do that. There's got to be a ride in this, right? There's good news. There is Brembo brakes on this bike. You know, that's not a bad deal. Keys up over here. You get this little dial here that's absolutely worthless. You can see my reflection very easily in it. When it gets in the sun, you completely lose everything that's on it. It's not really well done. It was not really thought out. This is the dumbest cluster on a motorcycle. Heck, even Honda had this kind of cluster for 3 years on the Rebel, a cheaper motorcycle. 3 years. We said something and it changed. And Yamaha, you've been told this for over 5, 6, 7 years, that this exists and it's a problem. And here it is. This is a newer bike. This is a 19. And here it is, still here, being worthless and garbage and washed out in the sun and can't be read because of reflection and just garbage. Okay, anyway, so besides not being able to see the speedometer very well during the sun and stuff like that, thank goodness we got clouds right now. You do have a neutral indication, service engine, you have gasoline, your bidirectional turn signals there, bright, and oil. If you go through here, you do get a clock, you get your regular odometer, you get your trip odometer 1, trip odometer 2, And back to your clock. There is no other gear indication, no tachometer, no nothing. Your selection here is just going to literally be changing everything out and resetting it. That's all you got over there. Select, reset, done. Engine cutoff switch, engine start, bright, turn, cancel, horn. It's a simple bike, and I love simple bikes, but like I said, I can't with this bike. All right, looking back, the mirrors are okay. You can actually barely see your shoulder, elbow in it, so it's not too bad. But, you know, let's just go ahead and start the ride. Alrighty, so engine started, plenty of vibes in it. Like I said, that's no big deal to me. I'm okay with filling the machine, guys. I really don't care about that. It's just the rest of the feel of this motorcycle. It's all wrong. The seating position is just wrong. I mean, you do have this mid-mounted position over here on this motorcycle. So you can see, you can't get to the tank, so if you're a new rider, you're going to hate that. You get to the tank over here, but you're wrapped firmly around the cylinder head, so you're going to burn your leg off. I mean, you sit there and say this is a great bike for beginners. Well, make it easy for beginners, guys. I mean, the seat holds you, and the horn over here, I mean, there's a reason why the seats are squared off and flat, is so that everything is comfortable. But this, there is nothing here. It pokes you in places as a man you don't want to be poked. It cooks you in places as a man you don't want to be cooked. You're like on a barbecue skewer at this point. Oh, and then there's the bumps. The suspension is very short travel. Much shorter than even most of the Sportsters that are out there. You bounce constantly off the seat to be reminded that it's there to kill you. Seriously, man, this bike is just terrifying. It's like sitting on a sea urchin that's on fire. It sucks. Now, here's the thing. Power delivery, the engine, it's almost a 950cc. It's like a 933. Oh, God, getting hit in the chest there with these bumps. But anyway, the power delivery is not bad. It's definitely got more spunk than any Iron 883 or any, bike that's near its size for an air-cooled bike. It actually is, golly, good at delivering power. But you'll see in upper RPMs, it's transmitting so much vibes through the machine, you can barely see out of the mirrors at a point. I mean, I don't know if my hyper stabilization can show that, but everything starts to get very fuzzy very quick in those rear view mirrors as you get up in the RPM range. So it's like an old school bike in that respect, but it's not what you expect from a company like Yamaha to be building right now. You see, everything else that they do is refined and wonderful, and this thing is so the wrong direction, and it just doesn't feel right. Like everything right now, like I try to get to where I'm not burning my leg off, and now my leg is completely over that cylinder head. Now I'm like, well, that feels warm, this feels terrible, and why am I sitting on this thing crooked? And I've got my back hunched because you sit down in the bike, and I'm a little tall. I'm 6 foot tall, 32-inch inseam. My arms are pretty much, not straight from the shoulder because my shoulders are bent toward my arms because, like I said, I'm bent over, hunched over, so the position itself is not comfortable for a taller rider. It's just not what you would expect in this day and age from a company like Yamaha. And that's why I've never really done a ride and review of this bike and posted it, because it's never been good. I've never had a good thing to say about this motorcycle, except for adequate power delivery and incredibly decent brakes, because the Brembo brakes on this thing, stop this thing in a hurry. I mean, for a bike in its class, it has some of the better brakes that I've ever used and decent power. But you're comparing that to an ancient Sportster. You're not comparing it to something new. And that's the problem. I think that's truly the problem. They went so hard after the Sportster that they went to the Stone Ages and built this thing out of bricks. It's just not right as a motorcycle. It's so hard for me to like it as I sit here uncomfortable, unhappy. So if y'all wanted to know what it's like for me to ride a bike I don't like, well, this is it right here. This is me being raw and real. This thing sucks. This thing shouldn't exist right now. They should fix this. They've had 6 years, 7 years, whatever it's been, to get this thing under a microscope and take out all these issues and get this right. And to be honest, I don't really see these out on the road. This is only the 4th technical one I have seen in the wild. Only the 4th. And I mean, a couple of passerbys and an old boss of mine. Oh, God, that hurt. Oh, no, this is not good. I'll stand up. Just get it off of me. I'm just stand up on those now. Golly. And the steering's not particularly great either. For straight line roads and everything, it's not bad, but it has a very low ground clearance, so it taps down pretty quick, and it's a 5-speed, not even a 6-speed. Clutch is pretty nice. I mean, it's definitely light, definitely nice to pull one finger. So nice things, power delivery, Brembo brakes, clutch pull, made by Yamaha. Everything else about this bike, just avoid. I mean, if you're going to use it as something to chop up and turn into something custom and radical, then do that, because you're putting it out of its misery, for real. Oh, this thing, in a modern respect, should just not exist. And I know that there's going to be some people that are going to argue with me that this is one of the finest motorcycles ever built because it mimics the old days and all this other stuff. Well, who wants to mimic the old days? I'm going to switch to the passenger seat, for goodness sake. Good golly, it just hurts so much. There, see? Now I'm on the passenger seat. Now I'm riding in a better position. But what else good can I say about it? Passenger seat kind of sucks too now that I'm on it. But it's better than that. Seriously though, guys, I mean, you've begged for this, and I kept telling you it was so negative, it's not even funny, and I'm trying my best to be nice, and I'm just still can't do it, folks. So to be brutally honest about the Yamaha Bolt, there's a reason you do not see these things everywhere. There's a reason why they sit in showrooms all over the place for years after they're supposed to be sold new. There's a reason why these are all over the internet on Cycle Trader and your local Craigslist and wherever else you might be. They're everywhere with super, super low mileage, and they're dirt cheap because nobody wants to get one. This is literally drinking that gal to a 10 and waking up next to a 0.5. You're so excited about your first motorcycle, but when the makeup and the honeymoon ends, you're left with something you do not want to think about. And that's what most people show when they're trying to get rid of these. It's just, ugh, that sucks up there too. I might as well just accept my fate that it sucks everywhere. So, at any rate, folks, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is my brutally honest review of the Yamaha Bolt. A bike that I seriously could never get behind. A bike that I would literally put a Sportster ahead of. And I'm not a particularly big Harley fan either. I just cannot believe that this all came to be a good idea. This is the best that they could do in the small beginning cruiser market, or mid cruiser, however you want to decide this is, being that's a 933. Yeah, every bump, everything is felt. My head is bouncing. Everything is just horrible. So at any rate, folks, if you wanted to know what it's like for me to actually hate a bike, now you know. At any rate, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. Keep that shiny side up, folks. Catch you on the next, hopefully better ride.
What's up, everybody? This is the Rabid Hedgehog. We once again want to thank you for watching our videos. Please like, share, subscribe today, and if you like what you see, mash that notification button so that way you get our latest videos and notifications live and on the spot. We also want to thank our dealership partners, Indian of Oklahoma City, House of Kawasaki, and Motiv, CycleWorks, Moto Guzzi, who is also our motorcycle mechanic. We want to thank them for allowing us to ride their rides. We are not paid in by any way by any manufacturer or dealer. We just get to be mad men and women with opinions. We also want to reach out to our sponsors and thank them. We have Law Tigers Motorcycle Lawyers. These motorcycle lawyers are mostly nationwide and can be reached 24/7 at lawtigers.com or 1-888-868-0208. We also want to thank our newest sponsor for gear and the things that you see us wearing, AGV Sport USA. They are out of agvsportusa.com in Flower Mound, Texas. We also want to thank Doug Crawford and AMS Oil for protecting our machines with the latest in lubrication technologies. He can be found at usasynthetics.com or 405-388-6170. And also for Derek Inlow and Associates Insurance Company, he can be found at 405-261-1010. Once again, everybody, keep that shiny side up, and we'll catch you on the next ride.